The daughter of one of my friends used to say, "Forgive us our Christmases as we forgive those who Christmas against us."
How do you celebrate Christmas?
Oh, I love Christmas. I love getting the fairy lights out. It doesn't feel Christmas to me until I've got all the decorations up, you know, the colourful things and the Christmas tree. We always have a real Christmas tree because that's Craig's, my husband's tradition. And baking honey biscuits.
Oh, I remember the honey biscuits. Oh, Mum used to put them in the cupboard.
Yep.
We'd find them before
It's a
Christmas
good
and we'd nick a few. I hope she never counted them.
Yeah.
I remember the Christmas pageants, going along as a child and witnessing the Christmas pageants that used to roll through and getting all the goodies and being a part of the Christmas atmosphere as the town and the community got right in and amongst it. Yeah. So,
but probably wasn't just the pageant, was it? It was actually being with the family, with your mum and dad, you know, with your brothers and sisters.
It was, yeah, getting everyone together in that space.
And just the fact that it's getting closer then to Christmas, you just have that sense of excitement, the Christmas pageant's happening, and you just, you know, it's that, I guess, build-up and preparation.
Yeah, you're sort of counting off the days like an old advent calendar.
But Christmas isn't like that for everyone though, is it?
No, and I've got a friend of mine, and it was just last year, she actually booked a family holiday up to far north Queensland for 2 weeks around that period of, and over Christmas. I couldn't understand it, but she sent me a photo Christmas Day of them sitting on the beach having fish and chips, just her and her husband and her kids. And I asked, you know, why have you done this? She said, just wanted to get away from the pressure and the stress of Christmas.
Yeah, there can be lots of demand, isn't there, and expectation
Mm.
of what is Christmas meant to really be about.
The daughter of one of my friends many years ago was learning the Lord's Prayer, and she used to say, "Forgive us our Christmases as we forgive those who Christmas against us." It's pretty much the way it is sometimes with the family difficulties and conflicts and people you haven't spoken to for ages, and now you have to be friendly around the Christmas tree or the Christmas table.
Yeah.
You know, it's a difficult time.
It is. It can be really hard to deal with and really hard to face. And I suppose also there's the reality that many people don't have loved ones around that table. They've died or just can't be there in that space with them. So there can be a lot of sadness too in there around Christmas, and it actually reflects more of the absence of people.
Yeah. My first wife died of cancer, and the first Christmas after that death was very strange for us, to know that she was not there, but yet at the same time to know that her life still went on and she was still with us in many ways, but the absence was very, very profound. And the first year after anyone loses a loved one, everything is significant. First anniversaries, first Christmas, first Easter, first birthdays, very difficult times to come through.
So how do you cope with something like that when your wife dies of cancer, and where do you find hope, especially at Christmas time?
Well, I think the hope is actually in the Christmas story, because the story is important. The story's telling us something. The story's telling us that God thinks we're worth something. The story's telling us that we matter. The story's telling us that He's with us because, well, in the Bible, Jesus is called Emmanuel, which means God with us. And even in the midst of the grief and the pain and the sorrow and the messiness of the relationships, either the presence or the absence, it's the withness, God with us, which is so important.
I think that's a really important message. I know a good friend of mine who at Christmas time, they find it really hard going to the family Christmas, but he says to me that feeling that Jesus gives him of his own worth, Jesus makes him feel worthy and worthwhile and good, because the family that he spends Christmas with makes him feel so worthless, I guess. So that's for him why he gets through Christmas.
In that sense, I guess Christmas is no different from any other time in that that sense of Christ with us, that sense of us being worth it because of what He is and what He's done, or who He is and what He's done. That's there all the time, but Christmas is really important for us to be told it all over again. Yes. We forget so easily. We forget the important things really easily. Yes. And there's a very famous old person who said that the words of Jesus are stronger on the lips of a friend than they are sometimes in our own heart. And we need to hear that story. It's so important that we hear that he has come, that he's come because he's loved us, that we're worth it, and that he's given himself for us. We need to hear that. And that's what makes Christmas so important for everybody, for me in particular.
And every day. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us around the table.
Thank you.